everyone, I'm Grace Grogan. Paul Cannon and I live and travel full-time in a motorhome. Being photographers, we love exploring the areas we visit looking for unique photo spots. Prior to me joining him, Paul visited the Table Mesa area located north of Phoenix. This is a large desert area of about 11,557 acres of land with 55 miles of off-road trails. On the entry road, Paul came across cattle guards. Because cattle, horses, and other livestock have difficulty with depth perception, they will not cross these barred crossings with a large ditch below. They are frequently used in road crossings so vehicles can easily pass without having to open and close a gate. The start of the off-road trail was tricky to find, partly because there were a lot of people doing target shooting. Paul stopped and asked them about the trail, and the entry was along the edge of where they were shooting, plus he had to go up on top of the hill they were shooting at. He requested they not shoot the bright orange Jeep and headed out. The trail starts out very bumpy and stays that way most of the ride. There are cholla cactus along the edge of the trail. This is my favorite cactus. I like the soft appearance, which is deceiving, and the way they seem to glow when the sun shines through their stems. This is one cactus you do not want to bump against because of the barbed spines that easily attach to the skin, fur, and clothing and are said to be very painful. There are many areas along the trail like this where you make a slight dip down into a wash and back up. The water flows down the mountain, crosses the trail, and continues onto the lower area at the right. In the second wash, you can see a large hole created by the water on the right. There's a large prickly pear plant on the right. Based on size, I would guess this to be an Engelmann prickly pear, which can grow 5 feet tall and 10 to 15 feet wide. They have a 20-year lifespan. The fruit produced is called prickly pears and can be eaten raw right off the plant. Here Paul came to a split in the road and decided to take the trail to the left, which is Windmill Road. There is a large field of cholla coming up on the left and more on the right. The cholla, sometimes called jumping cholla, reproduce easily because the stem segments are weak and easily detach, root, and become new plants. The cholla is also considered the most dangerous cactus because of their sharp spines and fine irritating barbs called glaucides. This drop is down into a large wash with prickly pear and mesquite trees on both sides. During a heavy rainfall, this area would be filled with flowing water. This is an old windmill-powered water well. At this point, Paul realized he had made an incorrect turn and needed to go back and follow the power line. This photo of the windmill also shows a barrel cactus, which can live up to 130 years. One interesting thing about this cactus is that it tends to lean towards the southwest, so it can be used as a compass if you are stranded in the middle of a desert. The hill on the left was interesting, and Paul stopped as he got closer to take a few shots. made it back to the intersection. As he turns the corner, he notices BLM marker 9954 on the right, which is the trail he wants to follow. Here is a more noticeable wash. These are very common in Arizona and are usually dry. The power line is now visible, which indicates Paul is headed in the correct direction. To the right is an interesting rock formation sticking up out of the ground. To the left is another interesting rock formation. The silvery bushes with a slight yellow tint to them are brittle bush and have not yet fully bloomed. They are a member of the sunflower family and when in bloom create beautiful yellow edges along roadways, trails, and in desert washes. They also grow up the sides of mountains. The name comes from the branches, which are brittle and woody. The size of this wash shows how much water sometimes flows down the mountain. Look to the right as you drive by. Here's another chance to get a glimpse of the barrel cactus on the left and a prickly pear on the right. The purple tint of the cactus pads is caused by cold temperatures and drought. The yellow pads are because part of the plant sunburned before it was acclimated to the sun, and the damage is permanent. A nice scenic view of the mountains and cactus off to the left. The tall, spindly looking plants you see are ocotillo, which is a drought deciduous plant currently in its dormant state. Following a desert storm, it will begin to grow leaves within 24 hours. Once the plant becomes dry, it will lose all of its leaves. This cycle can be repeated up to 5 times a year. The plant will flower without leaves. The flowers produce seeds, so rather than feeding itself, the plant will put out all of its stored nourishment into creating a new generation of plants. As we come out of the wash, look at the tall saguaro cactus on both sides of the trail, and specifically look at their arms. This cactus has a lifespan of 150 to 200 years old, but grows very slowly at only 1.5 inches per year. This means a plant may be only 1.5 inches tall at 10 years of age. Saguaro is the largest cactus in the United States and can grow 40 to 60 feet tall. The first arms begin to grow after it is about 15 feet tall and 75 years old. Looking at the size of these cacti and the size of their arms, it is hard to imagine how old they must be. A small section of the trail is lined by huge boulders, obviously placed there by man using large machinery. One can only wonder, why? You can see the freeway on the right, which means we are approaching the end of the trail. A big thank you from Paul and I for watching. We hope you enjoyed the ride through the Table Mesa Recreational Area with Paul. Give us a big thumbs up and leave us your comments below. Hit that subscribe button, which sends you a notice each time we release a new video. Until the next time, we will be rolling through North America and hope you will travel with us.